I have been playing Cyberpunk 2077 for well over 4 years now, and I am still finding new things I didn't know about before. Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions. CDPR really packed this game to the brim with tons of tiny details and Easter eggs for us to discover. So even if you have hundreds of hours in Night City, you still won't have seen everything. What's up everyone, Big Dan here, and in this video, we're going to explore 77 rare dialogues, Easter eggs, and other useless facts from Cyberpunk 2077. There will be spoilers in this video, so keep that in mind if you haven't finished the game yet. But without further ado, let's buckle up, grab some iced coffee, and dive into the video. Night City is plastered with lots of salacious ads, and one advertisement you may run across is for a product called Milfguard, which I gotta wonder, is it protecting MILFs from us, or protecting us from MILFs? In any case, this is not simply some random name the devs chose because they thought it was funny. It's actually a reference to a Conan O'Brien segment on The Witcher 3. Conan used to do a series called Clueless Gamer, where he would play and give his first impression on video games as someone who doesn't really play video games. During his review of The Witcher 3, as his segment producer tried to explain the lore of the game, Conan cracked this joke.
He's the Emperor of Nilfgaard, is what you need to know.
You didn't just say he's the Emperor of Nilfgaard, did you?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's his proper title.
Okay. I'm the Emperor of Milfguard, if you know what I mean.
So these ads we see all around Night City are a wink and a nod to the ginger comedian. The use of AI in the games industry is a contentious issue in today's discourse, as its application can take our jobs. One occupation that is on the chopping block is voice acting, as the quality of artificial audio production has dramatically improved from its monotone and robotic origins. You may be surprised to learn that CDPR actually used AI voice acting in the Phantom Liberty DLC, but I think this is one use case that is actually commendable. Before CDPR started development on Cyberpunk's expansion, the Polish language voice actor for Victor Vector, Miloghost Rezek, tragically passed away in December 2021. But Vic's character plays a big part in one of the endings for Phantom Liberty, so the developers were in a tight spot. Replacing Vic with another voice actor would potentially sacrifice the tone and cadence of the character, so CDPR got permission from the actor's family and partnered with a company called Respeecher to create an AI model of Rezek's voice. And it's these AI-generated voice lines that are used in the Polish language version of Vic in the Phantom Liberty DLC. After the heist goes tits up, V meets with Dex in the No-Tell Motel to plot the next move. But of course, Dex's plan is to flatline V and hand our protagonist over to Arasaka as a sign of goodwill. Dex will ambush us after we go to the washroom, but what happens if we never step foot inside to clean ourselves up? Well, in this case, we can experience some unique dialogue and interaction with Night City's worst fixer.
Yeah, shuttle I boat. Today. No, can't wait till dawn. One seat. I'll pay the premium. Spaceport Terminal 4. Got it. V, get yourself cleaned up. You're a mess.
Thanks, I'm fine.
All right, then.
So what's the plan?
Suit yourself.
Funnily enough, our escape is blocked by the sturdiest beaded curtains in all of Night City. What is this thing made out of? Kryptonite and titanium? One detail I find interesting is that in Dex's overheard phone conversation, we see he only placed an order for one passenger at the spaceport. This suggests that he not only was planning to get rid of V, but maybe his bodyguard as well. In any case, Dex's plan falls through in the end, as Takamura doesn't accept his offer. Alright, the next few deets are all about our Choomba, Jackie Wells, who tragically passes away during the heist. Most players probably didn't think to do this, but you can actually call Jackie after the heist, and V will have an in memoriam of sorts.
This number is temporarily unavailable. Please leave a message.
Talk to Misty. We were at your place. That mandala you made? It was total shit. But, Misty appreciated it. Maybe me a little too. So, nice work. So, went to your funeral. God, sounds weird to say, right? Mama Wells. Well, her heart's broken, but she's hanging in. She's tough. A lot of people showed, actually. Campo Orta sent someone too. Guy did read from a card. But, you know, there was a lot of respect. And warmth. Wish you could have seen it, Jack. Sure you would have liked it. So, you're never gonna guess what happened. Dex put a hit on me. I took a bullet, I died, I came back. All good until I realized I had a time bomb wedged in my brain. Feels like a goddamn movie plot. Got no idea what happened to you. Where you are, but hang tough, mano. Oh, right, and I met Johnny Silverhand. Long story. Doubt you two get along. You always could smell bullshit a mile off.
There is additional dialogue if you call Jackie after unlocking the final mission of the main story.
Jackie, afraid this is gonna be my last call. Don't have much time left. One way or the other, everything's coming to a head. No, I've been talking to myself this whole time, but I just wanted to say, you're a good friend, even when you're not around. Over and out, Chumba.
One reason you may want to choose the Nomad background in character creation is that you can get a unique variant of Jackie's motorcycle. Right before the pickup, as Jackie is scouting out the Maelstrom stronghold at All Foods, if you're playing as a Nomad and have at least 6 points in technical ability, then you will unlock this unique dialogue with Jackie.
That an arch? Damn, what a beaut.
Yeah, got her cheap, too. Dorsett job dividend.
Dunno how you could scrape together enough for that beast. Even used.
Well, I took out a loan, but muy pequeñito. But I mean, it's totally worth it.
I'd swap out that tailpipe if I were you.
Really? Why? It's got a mean growl that the chicas just love.
What that growl does is tell people a mile out that Jackie's rumbling their way. I'd tinker with the fuel injection, too. Upload a new map, and slap on some thermal tape till you cobble together enough eddies to get that exhaust modded.
And after receiving the bike from Jackie's mom in Act 2, you'll notice that the bike has 4 tailpipes instead of 2 on the standard version of his motorcycle. This cosmetic adjustment doesn't make a noticeable impact on gameplay performance, but it's a cool little detail nonetheless. If you've been watching my channel for a long time, you're probably sick of me talking about Jackie's Engram at this point, but a lot of players missed this cursed outcome, so I feel compelled to scream about it from my soapbox here on YouTube. While Jackie perishes during the heist, this is not our last opportunity to speak with him, or at least some version of him. But sadly, it's not quite the reunion that we would have wanted to see. While waiting in the parking lot outside the Notel Motel, Delamain will ask us where to send Jackie's lifeless body. If we send him to his mother or leave him in the car, then we will have a nice funeral ceremony for Jackie at the start of Act 2 and get a chance to loot his iconic handgun as well. But if we choose to send him to Vic's clinic instead, then we get a totally different outcome. As we'll learn from Vic and Takamura, Arasaka goons will storm the Ripperdoc clinic, forcibly confiscate Jackie's body, and experiment on him with Soul Killer. In this case, if we decide to side with Hanako at the end of the game, we'll have an opportunity to speak with Jackie's Engram.
Wait a sec. Wanna talk to Jackie Wells? Who? You took his body. Arasaka did. Goro said you interrogate the dead. Think I might understand how that's possible now.
I'm afraid these are 2 wholly different things. But let us see. Jackie Wells.
Chica! Finally! Mama told me things come to those who wait. Some are even good.
Jackie, it's really you.
Not bad being heir to the Arasaka Empire.
Remember anything? About what happened?
Hit the major leagues, chica. Running with Dex. Badass black Jesus of the afterlife. A heap of Bartlett gold-plated cool. Not bad, eh?
Hey, never did get the chance to thank you.
The biochip. Hold on to it. For me.
Knew I could always count on you, Jack.
Shot of vodka on the rocks, lime juice, ginger beer, oh, and most importantly, a splash of love.
Misty misses you. Loads.
Oh, Misty. Listen, amiga. I got this thing. Mind if I borrow your wheels? Got a date with Misty, but can take the metro. How's that gonna look for me?
Take it easy, amigo.
Afterlife. See you there.
Did you get what you expected?
Go fuck yourself, Hanako.
The conversation is haunting, as Jackie's Engram just recycles a lot of the same dialogue lines he spoke in Act 1. So we're not really having a conversation with him in the same way we can talk to Johnny, as there seems to be no sentience. This is not surprising, considering Jackie was already dead when Arasaka used Soul Killer, creating this soulless husk in the process. Here's the thing you may not know about our favorite baddie, Panam Palmer. While taking out the Kang Tao AV transporting Anders Hellman, Panam is hit with some ricochet in her abdomen. And one interesting detail that CDPR added to the game is a scar on this very wound that is visible after the mission is complete. It's these kind of little things that really make Cyberpunk 2077 feel like a living, breathing universe rather than just a video game. If you're enjoying the video so far, be sure to hit that like button and go follow me on Instagram at Big Dan Gaming. I'll put a link in the pinned comment. Finn Gerstat, aka Fingers, is the shady Ripper Doc we meet during the main quest, The Space in Between. If you come to Fingers' clinic on Jig Jig Street prior to your visit with Judy, you can purchase cyberware mods from him and have a brief chat.
Your style. See, you have a flair for the unique.
All handpicked by me.
It do well to attract new patients?
Who knows? It's for me, for my aesthetic pleasure.
My chrome could use some fine-tuning.
Here to serve.
If you visited the clinic before seeking out Evelyn, Fingers will actually recognize V when you see him again during the main story.
You, I recall, you visited me before. Whereas you, I can't quite place. Let me guess. Tiger claws?
As long as you don't beat Fingers up during this conversation, you could still come back and buy cyberware mods from him afterwards. He won't have any additional dialogue though. It's a small moment, but I like that CDPR added this detail to account for players who thoroughly explore. Pacifica's #1 fixer received an expanded role in the Phantom Liberty expansion and 2.0 update. We originally never had the chance to meet Hans in the base game, as we were only resigned to phone calls with his face obscured in the shadows of the flickering hollow. But if you played Cyberpunk before the 2.0 update, you will certainly have noticed that Mr. Hans got a big overhaul, as CDPR replaced the voice actor and changed the overall look of Hans' character model. These changes weren't just resigned to the DLC, however, as CDPR re-recorded Hans' voice lines from the base game as well for continuity's sake. Let's see how much Hans has changed.
V in Dogtown. My. Yet again with my favorite merc this side of the Sierra Nevadas.
Ah! Now that sounded like my third wife every time she wanted a new purse. Truly? Want to sell something to the VDBs? Trust me, they don't want it, they don't need it. They're isolated, insulated, they got their own contracts, tech, networks. But have it your way.
It is unclear why CDPR decided to switch out the voice actor for this character. Perhaps the original VA was unavailable, or perhaps it was a creative decision. As of yet, the studio hasn't made any official comments on the decision to change Mr. Hans. Maybe I'm just resistant to change, but I kinda missed OG Mr. Hands. He had a distinct personality to his voice that I prefer to the 2.0 version. During your quest to find Evelyn Parker, one potential path to finding the Death Head's Moth XBD group is to purchase one of their brain dances from a shady supplier on Jig Jig Street. However, if you have a very high street cred score and you've completed Life After Wartime, you can actually obtain this brain dance for free directly from Wakako Okada.
Looking for a brain dance.
Oh, any particular one?
Logo on the casing? A Death's Head moth.
Whoa, now. That's quicksand. So I would advise caution.
Can you get me one of those recordings?
Listen, I've seen what you can do. You've earned my respect, and I want you earning more of my eddies. So here's what's going to happen. I'll get you what you want. Just look out for a package.
Thanks, Wako. Where'll the pickup be?
I'll have my guy drop it off in a secure location. Sending you the coordinates now. My client wants something. You need to get it for me.
You'll get a quest marker to find the XBD in a nearby dead drop, and then proceed with the quest normally from here. I'm still not entirely certain of the exact requirements to obtain this outcome. However, I do know that obtaining 50 street cred and or completing all of Wakako's side gigs is not enough by itself. You also have to progress through the main story far enough to unlock this. I completed Life After Wartime with Panam, and was finally able to get this dialogue with Wakako. If you venture into the Badlands at this location, you'll discover a few bodies apparently LARPing Fallout 3. They are positioned next to a distinctive vault door painted 101, which is the starting location in the Capital Wasteland in Bethesda's 2008 game. CDPR's devs have populated Cyberpunk with a lot of video game references if you know what to look out for. It's just too bad we can't nuke Megaton, you know what I'm saying? Now this one might be a bit of a stretch, as people have pointed out in the comments when I originally posted this clip back in 2021, but there is a possible Easter egg to Mass Effect 3 during Sandra Dorsett's side quest in Act 2. While explaining how she managed to puncture a Corpo network, Sandra name drops Cerberus and Leviathan. Cerberus and Leviathan are mythological beings, but they are also a big part of Mass Effect 3, another sci-fi RPG franchise that surely the CDPR devs would have played. Cerberus is one of the main villain factions in Mass Effect 3, opposing Commander Shepard's efforts to build up an alliance against the Reapers. And Leviathans are the ancient telepathic seafaring beings who created the Reapers to begin with. So Sandra mentioning both of these in the same thought may be a reference to this BioWare classic. Throughout Night City, you can also find this graffiti tag that says "Harvest like a Reaper," which is probably a reference to the giant lobster death robots trying to harvest all organic life in Mass Effect. Contrarians may contest that reaping a harvest may also just be referring to collecting wheat or some shit like that, but I think game developers would be more likely to include an Easter egg of one of the most famous sci-fi RPG franchises rather than farm equipment. And speaking of Sandra Dorsett, let's dive into why she was targeted in the first place. The target of our first rescue mission in Act 1 has an interesting backstory in why she was targeted by scavvers. I have a full video exploring the reasons why Sandra Dorsett was attacked if you want to dive deep, but the TLDR version is that she was snooping into Night Corp and discovered they were mind-controlling their own employees in a shady research project. Night Corp discovered that Sandra Dorsett had unearthed their dirty laundry and arranged for a group of scavvers to kidnap and kill her, but Jackie and V arrived just in time to save the day. This explains why Sandra was targeted, but we still don't know exactly how. Interestingly, new details have emerged in the Phantom Liberty expansion, which sheds some more light on the Scavenged's method of attack. During the gig, The Man Who Killed Jason Foreman, you can find a laptop with messages detailing the methods used to hack Sandra Dorsett's biomonitor, which prevented Trauma Team from tracking her location. Basically, they would create an infected shard which would jam the signal on the target's biomonitor, preventing it from communicating with Trauma Team and essentially masking the victim's location. This lines up with what we see in The Rescue, because the moment V removed the infected shard, the biomonitor signal triggers a response from Trauma Team, who arrives promptly. Subsequent messages mention Sandra by name. I got that new Zeta Tech biomonitor with the soft update, and something not right. Keeps generating hashes using SHA-8192, and no matches. The brute force that crashed Sandra Dorsett's hardware isn't doing shit either. Help a choom out here. One more interesting detail about Sandra involves a peculiar consumable item that you can discover in Night City. In the United States, it was commonplace at one point in time to publish images of missing people on milk cartons. And this practice must have continued into the dark future, because sure enough, you can discover a milk carton with Sandra Dorsett's image plastered on it in Cyberpunk 2077. You might want to check the expiration date before drinking that though, because that chick is already rescued by the time you would find one of these. Many of the choices we make in Cyberpunk 2077 have ripple effects that cascade out into the rest of the game, but the results are not always visible in obvious places. Take Meredith Stout, for example. The hard-ass Militech operative we can meet in Act 1 is desperate to recover a flathead bot clipped by the Maelstrom gang. We can choose to ally with her to take down Royce's goons, or betray her by siding with Maelstrom instead. If we choose to do the latter, things don't end well for old Meredith. At the end of the mission, we'll be greeted by a Militech squad headed by Anthony Gilchrist, who was previously occupying Meredith's trunk, and he drops the hint that Meredith's career as a Corpo is over.
What happened to Stout?
She placed some bad bets, her clock ran out, simple as that. Suffice to say, you won't be seeing her again.
Militech don't forgive, Militech don't forget, and Meredith wound up dead owing to her failure on the job. After completing Act 1, we can actually find Meredith's lifeless body, head shaved and tossed into the bay in Northside Watson.
Militech don't forgive, Militech don't forget.
Acquaintance of yours?
Yep. Familiar face from my past life.
I guess those are the pitfalls for screwing up in the corporate world. Barghest is the biggest, baddest militarized gang in all of Night City, with complete control over the sector of Dogtown, which technically falls outside of the jurisdiction of Night City, but hey, we're splitting hairs here. The name of this gang is actually a reference to CD Projekt Red's first game, The Witcher, released in 2007. The word Barghest originates from English folklore, which depicted the creature as a vicious large black dog with sharp fangs. And in The Witcher 1, the first major boss fight in the game is the Barghest, a creature that lines up well with the same folklore descriptions. And let me tell ya, this fight is a gigantic pain in the ass, quite literally for Geralt. The Barghest has the ability to inflict a pain debuff on Geralt with its agonizing howl, which stunlocks the Witcher, leaving him free to take damage from the Barghest and its never-ending pack of dogs. And the boss literally just spams that howl throughout the entire fight. You may have some assistance in the fight, either from Abigail or the townspeople, depending on your choices, but they usually go down like a sack of bricks within seconds, so you're pretty much on your own. The Witcher is a beautiful, janky mess of a game that I absolutely love, but this fight is definitely one of the lowlights from the game. You can check out my review of the first Witcher if you're interested in checking it out for yourself, but it's cool to see CDPR acknowledging their roots with this Easter egg. What happens if you fail to save the president in Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty? At the beginning of the expansion, the Barghest gang manages to shoot the NUSA president's aircraft down with a missile. In the aftermath, V makes a mad dash to the crash site, fighting through robots and Barghest goons in a bid to save Rosalind Myers. However, if you run away from the scene instead of booking it to the crash site, then you'll trigger a critical mission failure for the entire main plot of Phantom Liberty.
Hey, what the hell are you doing? Get to the crash site, now!
Secure it.
Mother...
What?
Congrats, V. You just killed Rosalind Myers and the NUSA.
What the hell are you spewing, Songbird?
You had one job. Get to the plane, save her. You failed. You killed her, as if you pulled the trigger yourself. Pray we don't meet again, and I mean ever.
Ah!
Still with us?
What happened?
Your presidential rescue op. Miserable failure. Honestly, though, good f***ing riddance.
Okay. So now what?
Huh. We go on living. Start by finding us a drink.
Sorry, Songbird. This whole business just seemed too shady to risk my life for. Now, after failing the mission, I tried to visit the crash site, but the path that you used to enter the site was walled off with a closed door, seemingly inaccessible without using glitches or console commands. Interestingly, you can still complete missions for Mr. Hands and presumably other side content in the DLC, but the whole main quest line is failed when we abandon Cyberpunk Air Force One. You can also fail the entire Phantom Liberty DLC by refusing Reed and Meyer's request to help find Songbird early in the expansion.
I don't know how much she's paying, but you better ask yourself, is it worth it?
Know what, Reed? You're right. Something real wonky about this. I'm out.
Now listen close, V. I'm only gonna say this once. Songbird promised you help with the relic. Now I will use any and all NUS assets to fulfill that promise. Consider it my contribution to your deal. Walk out of here, and the deal's null and void. Understood?
Not a bluff, V.
Finally showing me your true face. That the way of things, huh? Hard pass from me, then. If I gotta die, I'm not gonna die fighting someone else's war.
I see. Well, we'll manage without you. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Huh. Gotta be the shortest FIA career ever. Might not be an agent, but you're definitely special, V.
During Kerry Eurodyne's questline, the unhinged rocker asks us to help him stick it to a group of K-pop idols who have been covering one of his songs.
Some people in this town, they've gone completely whacked.
At one point, Kerry will ask us to back him up as he sneaks into a concert venue and threatens the girls with his sidearm. One way to get into the venue is to shoot down a ladder and climb through the fire escape on the side of the building. However, if you have reinforced tendons, you can double jump onto the balcony and enter the building without helping Kerry. If you do this, you'll unlock some unique dialogue with a not too happy Kerry Eurodyne.
Great. Thanks for nothing, partner. Up, I know. But you're in now. Yeah. Because I told him who the hell I was. Better start trying harder. Up, Les.
At this point, the quest proceeds as normal, but it's a cool little detail that CDPR added, anticipating that some of us would leave Kerry hanging. And speaking of leaving Kerry hanging, did you know that you can fail Kerry's personal quest, where you and him trash his manager's boat? If you bail off the boat at some point during this scenario, you'll fail the entire quest and get this text message from Kerry. Preem, thanks for abandoning me, but whatevs, I'll manage. Are you picking up on a theme here? Running away has some hilarious and interesting consequences in Cyberpunk 2077. I hate to bail on Kerry like that, but he's not the only one of Johnny's old crew that V can betray. During Johnny Silverhand's questline in Act 3, V has the opportunity to help the digitized rocker boy reconnect with his old flame by taking Rogue out to a movie. Usually this quest involves us turning over our body to Johnny while he tries to put the moves on the Queen of the Afterlife. But what happens if you just completely flee the scene and leave Rogue hanging? In this case, you will fail the quest and wake up to an angry text message from Rogue. That's the last time I ever let Johnny Silverhand stand me up, or maybe that thing with the movies was all just a practical joke from the get-go. Hope you two had a good laugh at my expense. Don't let me see or hear from you ever again. Despite Rogue's insistence on not speaking to her again, you can still call and talk to her about her normal dialogue options, or show up in person and have the same conversations. Talk about mixed signals. However, if you fail blistering love by abandoning Rogue during the date, you will not be able to do the ending with Johnny and Rogue. Interestingly, you'll still be able to do the secret ending with Johnny, assuming you unlocked it by choosing choosing the correct dialogue options during chipping in. Did you know that you can actually fail to save River's nephew during the quest The Hunt? After doing some work for the Perales family, our new homie River Ward will contact us to help him find his missing nephew, Randy. River suspects Randy was kidnapped by a man named Anthony Harris, who was recently caught by the Popo and put into a coma. The normal route in the quest sees V and River discovering Randy's location by revealing clues from Anthony's dreams. But if you fail to uncover all relevant clues from the brain dance, V and River will not immediately know which farm Randy is being held at. River will present V with a choice between two potential farms, Poppy and Edgewood. The correct choice is Edgewood Farm, but if V chooses Poppy, it sends us down a completely different path for the quest.
Shipping code on the game Randy got from Harris traces out to the Badlands. Stamp on the NCFD certificate was from the southern region. So we're down to 2 farms. It's only 2, but time's not on our side, River. We splitting up? No, I'll call the PD. Get him out to the second farm. Which means we've got a coin toss. 50-50 chance of getting it right. Edgewood or Poppy? Poppy's the better bet. Voice in my gut says so. Okay then, let's move.
When you arrive at Poppy Farm, the place is filled with Wraith gangsters who River attacks. After clearing out the baddies, River and V discover that Randy is not there.
River. This isn't it. Wrong goddamn farm. We chose the... Back to the car, quick! Damn it! We're wasting time! Peter Pan prick. He's a stiff when this is all over. I mean, God. How'd we pick the wrong farm? Too late for that now, River. Just hit the chew. Hold on, Randy. Please hold on.
River and V race to Edgewood Farm and try to save the victims, but unfortunately they're too late.
He's here. Randy! Oh, kid, please. Shit, he's not breathing. Get that computer off! Randy. 1052. I repeat, I've got a 1052 at a farm south of the city. Yes, send the squad! Yeah, relaying coordinates now. No, several, at least. Do it quick, damn it. Oh, and watch for automated defenses on the side. They're substantial. Okay, all disconnected. Check the others. We gotta try to help, even if it means just saving one. On it. I got a pulse, but it's weak. We need to get him to a hospital, quick.
After discovering Randy has no pulse, River collapses to the floor.
Need to loosen this! Help me!
In the aftermath, River blames himself for hiring V and vows to take revenge on Anthony Harris.
We f***ed up, River. Yup, we sure did. But it is far from over. Psycho scum's gonna pay for it. What do you want to do? Zero him? Exactly. Squeeze the life out of him with my bare hands. Sick has to die. Do what you gotta do. Kill him, spare him. Just one request, River. What's that? Leave me out of it. Had my fill of this case. Knew from the start I should have hired a professional. Not you. Hang on. You trying to blame me for the f***up? It was my mistake. Thought you could help me. That we'd fare better together. You're grieving, so I'll forget you said that.
Yeah, forget it. Forget everything.
Whatever you decide, don't get caught.
Like it matters.
Hey, we're ready for evac. Are you riding along or not?
Still, thanks for trying to help.
Yeah, for trying.
Achieving this outcome means you won't be invited to River's trailer park barbecue with his sister. How unfortunate. Later in the game, you'll receive a text from River saying that he's done the deed. I know you couldn't care less, but Harris is a corpse. I iced him and covered my tracks. The nightmare's finally over, and this is goodbye. Now you might think that killing Harris is what lands River in jail, but you'd be wrong. Apparently he did cover his tracks with Harris, but he ended up getting into a bar fight later on. During the end credits, you'll receive a call from River asking V to bail him out of jail.
Hey, V. Listen now. Stupid question, but do you think you could bail me out? Last night I was sitting at the bar just minding my own business when some guy starts mouthing off about the kids on the farm, saying that they must have enjoyed being hooked up like cows, that they had it coming. Of course, I told him to shut his fucking mouth or else. Surprise, surprise, he didn't listen. So we took it outside and you know what happens next. They're holding me at the precinct in Little China. You know where. Holler if you can help your old River out one last time. Thanks.
Sorry, River. I got my own problems there, buddy boy. But this is not even the worst outcome for old River, because he can actually wind up dead if we make the wrong moves. There are 2 points in this quest that can lead to River's demise. After investigating Randy's trailer and confirming that he was in touch with Anthony Harris, River will ask V to stay overnight to see things through. If you reject River's request, you will automatically fail.
Staying, right? You gotta help me see this through. To the end.
I can't, River. I'm sorry.
I still need your help. You leave now, I'll be all alone in this.
I really can't. You'll do just fine without me. Don't doubt it. Hang tough, Joss. River will find him. Safe. I'll see you around.
And we never saw him again. Later on, you'll receive a text message from River's sister, Joss, telling you what had happened. They told me they found River and Randy's bodies on a farm somewhere. You promised to help them, but no, you left them to die. Well, guess what? You're dead to me too. I'll never forgive you for this. Oh well, I won't be losing any sleep over it, lady. There is another way to get River killed during the hunt as well. This time we'll stay overnight, explore the brain dance, and head to Edgewood Farm to try and save Randy. Once we arrive at the farm, simply run to the nearest fast travel point and leave the scene. You'll receive a series of texts from River. V, where are you? Heading back to the car. Get over here and help me, please. I don't know where you are, but I can't keep waiting. Thanks for your help till now, but I need to hurry up and find Randy. If you wait 24 in-game hours, you'll receive a notification that the quest has failed. You'll also receive the same text message from Joss telling you that River is dead. If you return to Edgewood Farm afterwards, you'll discover River's body in the minefield and get a quick conversation with Johnny.
Poor bastard. You just left him.
Yeah, I did.
River's body will only show up here at the farm if you traveled there with him and then fled the scene. If you backed out of the quest during the dinner conversation, River's body will be nowhere in sight. I tried to find Joss after this quest as well to see if I could have a follow-up conversation with her, but she is nowhere to be found. After River's death, you'll be able to find an inscription for him and Randy in the Columbarium graveyard. River Ward, until we meet again. But now that we've explored how River can get totally screwed over by V, let's take a look at a more positive ending, shall we? We've already shown how V can botch the braindance investigation, but there is another hidden dialogue option that we can uncover during this part of the quest. Normally, V will narrow down which farm Randy is being held at by investigating all the clues in the braindance. However, if you happen to visit Edgewood Farm prior to this quest, then V will automatically recognize the farm when looking out the barn doors in the dream.
River, I know this place.
What? You've been to this farm?
A while ago. I can see it now. I know how to get there.
Shit, V. Knew it was a good idea to bring you along.
So let's move on and talk about the wildest quest chain in Cyberpunk 2077 involving Joshua Stephenson. After completing Life During Wartime, Wakako will contact V with a peculiar assassination contract. A man named Bill Jablonsky wants us to help him track down his wife's killer. Typically, Bill will get ganked by an NCPD officer in a scripted event, but there is actually a way to save Bill's life if you fail the quest. You can completely fail this quest right off the bat if you fail to follow the vehicle.
Gun! Got away! Beat it! Get the f*** out! You're useless!
I decided to follow Bill's truck afterwards to see where he goes. He drives down into a nearby neighborhood and then sort of drives back and forth until his car just disappears into thin air. You'll receive a text from Bill saying, "And here I thought I hired a pro. Now a freaking murderer's at large and I had to ditch this city. Neither you or Okada are getting an any out of me." You can try to call Bill, but he will not pick up the phone. He has a NUSA flag as his caller ID profile photo. It's a nice little detail that CDPR added, considering the vast majority of players will never get this outcome and try to call Bill. But assuming you follow the normal route in this quest, you can actually avenge Bill's death by completing the hit job on Joshua Stephenson. If you do this, the quest completes, and you'll get a unique conversation with Wakako afterwards.
Job with Jablonsky. It's done. Stephenson's in a better place now.
And? Think anything of it?
Professionals don't sit around and think. They do.
Well said, V. Eddies are on their way.
The secret room in Kabuki Market. If you explore below the street level in Kabuki Market, you will discover a door to a storage unit locked with a keypad. Johnny will encourage V to find a way to get the door open.
V, try to get inside.
If you enter the code 605185, the door will open and you'll discover a cozy hideaway complete with furniture and a television.
Well, what do we have here?
If you sit on the couch with Johnny, a slideshow of photos will start playing on the screen. These images are some of the developers who work at CD Projekt Red. It's a cool Easter egg to find, but I also kinda wish there would have been some loot as well. Maybe a cool unique weapon or something. During the quest, Send in the Clowns, V takes an interesting Uber job for a peculiar clown with a grenade on his nose. At the end of the quest, Ozob will start a gunfight with a group of Tiger Claws and Watson, prompting V to join him in the pandemonium. But if you flee the scene after Ozob starts blasting on the Tiger Claws, then you will fail the quest and get a very angry text from the unhinged clown. Nice work, V, and by nice, I mean a travesty. I'll make sure folks in the city hear about it. Hilariously, the zone outside Misty's will be permanently marked as a hostile zone for the rest of the game, even though the gang members and Ozob will no longer be there. Netrunners can make a peaceful deal with Woodman. During Automatic Love, V has to infiltrate clouds and dig up information on what happened to Evelyn Parker. The last part of the quest involves talking to one of the club managers named Woodman. In most cases, this conversation will end in violence, aside from a handful of hidden options that only open up in specific circumstances. One of these is available for Netrunner builds. If you have a high intelligence score, and you discover that a Netrunner attacked Clouds by reading emails in their security office, and you manage to reach Woodman's office without getting into open combat, then you will have an opportunity to cut a deal with Woodman. V will propose helping Clouds with their net security in exchange for information on Evelyn.
Know you guys got hit by a runner a while back. I can make sure that never happens again.
That's so. Let's hear it then.
Tit for tat. Want to be net secure? You're gonna help me find Evelyn first. That's the only way this is gonna work.
All right, fine. I'll lay it on you straight. Girl you're looking for, Parker? She ain't here.
This you talking it out straight? What happened to Evelyn?
Got an order from up high to recycle her.
You killed her?
No. I found a ripperdoc who was willing to take a look. Goes by fingers. Clinic's in some godforsaken alley up on Jig Jig Street. Want to find Evelyn? Look there. Now, you do your end. How do we board up against hacks?
You'll need soft that'll isolate chip and implant receptor layers from Cloud's subnet. At the same time, it'll keep track of and block any attempts to modify the core on the go.
Now in human rather than machine.
Need Smart Eye. Latest version.
Smart Eye. Got it. And don't come back here. Ever. While you're at it, take the elevator. Quicker you're out of here, the better.
If you don't honor your arrangement with Woodman after he reveals the info on Evelyn, then he'll attack and you'll be forced to take him down. But Netrunners are not the only ones who can reach a diplomatic solution with Woodman. If you completed Regina's gig, Monster Hunt, prior to Automatic Love, then you can unlock a unique dialogue option about your hit on the Tiger Claw boss, Jotaro Shobo.
Clouds is under Tiger Claw control, isn't it?
That's none of your fucking biz.
Guessing you heard about Jotaro Shobo?
Shobo had an accident.
What Shobo had was a very unfortunate meeting with me. Just happened to be his last. Wouldn't want this to be your last meeting, would ya?
Of course not. Never wanted to be anything like Shobo. Girl you're looking for, Parker? She ain't here.
If we spare Woodman at this point, we'll have another opportunity to take him down with Judy later in the game, should we choose to do so. For most of the game, our chosen background simply provides flavor dialogue, but there are a few instances where we can unlock something truly unique if we have the right origin story. Probably the best example of this is during our infiltration mission to hack Hanako's parade float inside Arasaka Industrial Park. Typically, we'll have to resort to stealth to get inside the facility. However, if we chose the Corpo background in character creation and identify the gate guard during our scouting, then we can riz our way into the front door.
Hey, shouldn't be here. These are corporate premises.
Actually, I should. Weber, IOC.
You, IOC. Right. Best turn around 3 times and disappear.
Name.
Huh?
Need your name, Sentry.
How about we start with yours? See, nobody told me about
Unscheduled inspection regarding sensitive data leaks. How about I raise the op exec on comms? Really want to tell Abernathy how she's supposed to proceed with this inspection?
Abernathy? Didn't mean to.
Step aside and man your station.
Of course, yeah. Apologies, really.
I'm in.
Good. Now try to enter the warehouse.
In this case, we can waltz straight into the facility and make a beeline to hack Hanako's float. It's only when we upload the software that the jig is up, and we have to flee from hostile Arasaka goons. All we had to do was follow the damn train, CJ! This Grand Theft Auto Easter egg can be found near the trailer park in Rancho Coronado, not far from Joss's house. You'll find 2 bodies on the train tracks near the tunnel, with a data shard detailing a conversation between JC and Little Smoke. a twist on CJ and Big Smoke from GTA San Andreas.
All we had to do was follow the damn train, CJ.
One of my favorite Easter eggs in Cyberpunk 2077 is a reference to my favorite show, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. There is an email you can discover on a computer terminal which details a man whose dating profiles had been removed from Night City dating services. The usernames included in the email are references to Dennis Reynolds, who has a mental breakdown after being rejected by a number of women he met online during the Season 10 episode, The Gang Group Dates. Let's take a look at each username. Golden God 215. Dennis calls himself a golden god while trying to sell his Range Rover. Anteater Tongue. Frank insults Dennis by saying he has an anteater nose. 6-Star Man is a nod to Dennis calling himself a 5-star man, with 5 stars being the highest rating on the Philadelphia dating app he and the gang goes on. Hugh Money is a nod to Hugh Honey, Dennis's alias that he uses when he and Mac try to sell real estate without a license. I'm a huge fan of It's Always Sunny, and I'm glad to see that the great folks at CD Projekt Red are also people of culture. Famed game director Hideo Kojima makes a brief cameo appearance during the heist in Act 1. If you visit the bar in Konpeki Plaza, you can find the creator of Metal Gear Solid and Silent Hill hanging out. Later on, during River's questline, you can find a BB in one of the NCPD labs, which is a reference to Kojima's latest game, Death Stranding. While we're on the topic of Easter eggs, we can spot graffiti throughout Night City that says, "Does he look like a bitch?" This, of course, is a reference to Samuel L. Jackson's famous lines in the Tarantino film Pulp Fiction.
Does he look like a bitch?
Cyberpunk has a myriad of timed dialogue options where we have to think on our feet and make a choice quickly. If we let the timer run out, most of the time nothing major happens. But there are a few situations where we can instantly die, which is pretty hilarious. The first one that comes to mind is the standoff with Royce in Act 1.
I don't wait! You're dead!
Then we have the car ride with Takamura, where he tosses us an air hypo.
You hear me? I need your help. Nanda? Arewa?
And we've got an armed standoff with the president of the NUSA.
Who are you? You have 5 seconds. Time's up.
This is by no means an exhaustive list, but I personally find these hilariously dumb ways to die very entertaining. What happens when Judy catches you simping? During Judy's personal quest, Pyramid Song, you dive into the flooded town of Laguna Bend where Judy grew up. When you perform a sound check with Judy, if you focus the camera on her booty for a few seconds, you'll trigger some unique dialogue.
Enjoying the view?
Whoa. You see what I see, like, in real time?
Oh yeah, I see everything.
Oh, sorry.
What? Don't be.
Right. We were gonna take in our surroundings.
Could prove more difficult than we thought.
Visual sensors are getting stemmed right now. Can't be denied. To think I never realized how fit you were.
Don't get excited. Oxygen supply is limited.
Judy doesn't react quite so positively to the same attention from a male V character.
Like the view, asshole?
Whoa, you see what I see in real time? Like what I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm. And I gotta say, it's pretty fucking weird.
Oh, sorry.
Don't let me catch you at it again.
Right. We were, gonna take in our surroundings.
Exactly. Landscape, damn it. Like the view, asshole?
Visual sensors are getting stinned right now. Can't be denied. To think I never realized how fit you were.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
River's awkward family photo. Many people know about the massive changes to combat and skills that were introduced in Cyberpunk's 2.0 update, but CDPR also made some stealthy changes to other content in the game that wasn't specifically called out in the patch notes. One of these changes involved a particularly awkward family photo we receive in a text message from River. Sometime after completing River's personal quest, The Hunt, we would receive a photo message from River visiting Randy in the hospital, assuming he was saved from Edgewood Farm. And this photo became a bit of a meme in the Cyberpunk community, owing to the awkward and stilted poses of the characters and the oddly realistic-looking teddy bear in the foreground of the frame. The image kind of reminds me of Tally's original photo in Mass Effect 3, which was basically a stock photo that BioWare photoshopped to look like a Quarian. Well, now CDPR has revamped this photograph and replaced it with a less awkward composition in the 2.0 update. Here is a side-by-side comparison of the two images. While I like what they've done with the new photo, I must admit I kind of miss the original. I always got a big laugh anytime I saw it, so I'm kind of sad it's been replaced. But never fear, the awkward Ward family photo will always live on in the memes. Did you know you can equip Johnny Silverhand's, well, hand? During Johnny's side quest line, Silverhand and V attempt to track down and eliminate Atom Smasher. After infiltrating the Ebonica and smashing up Grayson, Johnny and V drive out to the oil fields where Johnny's body was supposedly dumped after he got iced with Soul Killer. If you search through the rubble, you can find and loot Johnny Silverhand's arm, which will end up in the junk section of your inventory. The item doesn't have a description and is only worth $1, but from the appearance it's clearly Johnny's arm. Interestingly enough, if you click on it, you can actually equip the arm as a cosmetic appearance, which can be viewed in the mirror or by hopping into a bike and switching to third person. For some unknown reason, CDPR patched this out of the game in patch 1.3. You can still add Johnny's arm to your inventory using console commands, but you can no longer equip it, which is kind of a bummer. My best guess is that this item was supposed to be hidden and essentially only present when we play through Johnny's memories. I don't think CDPR intended for us to have the arm for V. But come on, bruv. Who doesn't want a badass mechanical arm with a sleek chrome finish? I'm trying to ball out over here, and the devs be killing my vibes, man. At the end of the Phantom Liberty DLC, if you sided with Songbird and ganked Reed at the spaceport, V will send our Netrunner baddie friend on a one-way trip to the moon. After buckling her into the passenger seat, we are directed to watch the ship take off from the observation deck. But what if V wants to tag along for the moon ride as well? V doesn't have Jeff Bezos money, so this might be our only shot. Well, if you hug yourself close to the door and wait for the ship to take off, we can actually cling on while Somi propels towards space. And hilariously, CDPR even added some voice lines with Johnny for players who attempt this.
Where are you heading off?
Just watch the show, Johnny.
Power activated. Hydrogen pressure sufficient for takeoff. T-minus 60 seconds. RS-25 main engine ignition.
Oh, fuck.
T-minus 50 seconds. Solid propellant engines burning. Spark igniters active. And push. T0.
Yeah, so that basically ends exactly the way I expected. There is a unique consumable item we can get during the pickup if we play our cards right. While conducting biz with Dum Dum, we can decide to take a hit on the inhaler he's packing if we're playing as a street kid.
Come on, gotta lighten up. Take a hit.
What you blowing?
S-Keef. Pure as baby powder.
Black lace. tough to get your hands on. Gotta have a good source.
What's it do?
Ups dwarfs and adrenaline to the point you feel no pain. Trip's so intense it verges on psychosis. Corps fed it to their fighting legions during the Corp Wars.
Cyber psychos pop the tabs like candy. Vaporizing it mellows the burn without killing any of the effect. Come on, give it a whirl!
After this, if we side with Maelstrom against Militech, then Dum Dum will pull us aside and give us a little gift.
How you say? Last thing. A little bonus for the role.
You're S-Keef?
Let's say I like that you got good taste. Go on, it's yours.
The consumable item, Black Lace, aka S-Keef, boosts our armor, stamina regen, damage, crit rate, and crit damage. The only drawback is it decreases our max health temporarily, anywhere from 35 to 50%. So if you want to tap into that meth head energy, then be sure to snag this preem item from Dum Dum. During the pickup, if we decide to side with Militech and kill Royce, then Brick will return as the head of Maelstrom, making an appearance later in the game during the quest's second conflict. But what happens if you also kill Brick during this mission? Well, in this case, when we arrive at the Totentans, we'll be greeted with a brand new character named Patricia.
Get the f*** out! Now! That's the All Foods, punk! I'm not blind! What do you want?
Watch out for that.
Best ISIS. Mean anything to you?
You work with her?
No, just gotta talk. Heard she's here.
Gotta talk? Sure. I'll take you.
At this point, Patty will take us in the back to meet Nancy, and predictably, things go sideways.
Music media, yeah, you said. How in the f*** you search her, Tundar? That she still managed to call for help!
Shit, that's Nance. Did a number on her.
Huh? I didn't call anyone. I don't even know her.
But we do! And we won't have history repeating itself, damn it!
There is no way to resolve this situation peacefully without Brick here, and no option to simply sneak out like we could with Royce. So the only way out of the Totentans alive is to zero all the Maelstrom punks out for your head. We can score Dex's unique gun if we know where to find his body. At the beginning of Act 2, if we head to the landfill where Takamura shot Dex, we can loot his iconic pistol called Plan B, which has a unique mechanic. If you completely run out of handgun ammo while wielding this gun, you'll start converting Eurodollars into bullets. So you'll never run out of ammo with this thing, at least until you go flat broke. After returning from the GIM on our wonderful gig with the Voodoo Boys, Brigitte will request that we help the VDBs make contact with Alt Cunningham in exchange for their help with the relic. Interestingly, V can actually turn down this offer and walk away.
Once we have the data we need, we will do our best to help you.
Don't think I'm that desperate yet.
You said no other could help you.
Maybe I got other options I don't know about yet.
I hope you return before your time runs out.
But sadly, without the Voodoo Boys, we cannot complete the main quest, so we'll need to double back to Maman Brigitte. In this case, we'll receive Brigitte's phone number and have the chance to call her for a unique conversation.
V.
The biochip. I'll let you have a peek. If you can help me, that is.
I am glad you have had change of heart.
Where can we meet?
You come to our chapel in Pacifica and must wait by the altar.
Fine, I can do that.
Judy recommended you to the Peralez family. Sometime in Act 2, Elizabeth Peralez will contact V with a job to investigate the mayor's death. When V asks how she got this number, Elizabeth will mention that you came recommended for the job.
Why call me of all people? Any particular reason?
You came recommended.
Yeah, who by?
I'd rather not say, not over the phone.
It turns out that Judy was actually the one to give our contact info to Elizabeth, which we can learn during a phone conversation with her.
Oh, before I forget, some lady called me, Elizabeth something, said she had a job for someone with an eye for virtues. Told her to drop you a line.
Nice of you to think of me, Judy.
Hey, don't mention it. I just hope she's worth the eddies.
Just so happens I already took that job.
No shit. And? How'd it pan out?
Hard for me to say at this stage.
Right. Client confidentiality and all that.
The dialogue is slightly different, and V already completed the quest before talking about it with Judy.
Oh, what a dumpster fire of a case.
You managed to crack it?
In a manner of speaking.
During the quest Epistrophe Coast View, as V tracks down the rogue Delamain cabs, we are treated to an Easter egg from the game Portal.
I'm going to kill you, and all the cake is gone. I honestly, truly didn't think you'd fall for that.
The voice for this particular cab is a reference to GLaDOS, and CDPR even hired the same voice actress, Ellen McLean, to reprise the role.
Don't let that horrible person thing discourage you. It's just a data point. If it makes you feel any better, science has now validated your birth mother's decision to abandon you on a doorstep.
As someone who hadn't played the original Portal games before I played Cyberpunk, this reference went over my head, but I wanted to include it in the video nonetheless. The shady character Mr. Blue Eyes has been a figure of much debate within the Cyberpunk community for years. His true identity and motives are unclear, but he seems to have his fingerprint on a few significant quests in the game. For starters, let's take the quest Dream On, where V unravels a conspiracy involving mind control of the mayoral candidate, Jefferson Peralez. Before reaching our final meeting with Jeff to report our findings, we're hit with this call from an unknown number.
Yeah?
It doesn't matter what you tell him. It doesn't matter what you think of doing or do. You can't change anything.
What?
We know who you are. We know what you are. We know what you want. You are playing with fire. Don't dare cross the line.
Watching from a balcony just above Jefferson's location, we can spot Mr. Blue Eyes. Is he the mystery caller who didn't want Jefferson to know what's being done to him? We'll have another chance to link up with Mr. Blue Eyes during the Star ending, where V crashes Arasaka Tower with Rogue, but then returns to their own body. In this ending, Mr. Blue Eyes hires V for a heist on an orbital casino, which is effectively seen as a self-flatlining mission. Mr. Blue Eyes suggests the possibility of helping V with the relic, but where would this help come from? Perhaps beyond the Black Wall? We'll spot Mr. Blue Eyes one more time during the Phantom Liberty DLC. If we side with Songbird, we can find the man keeping a watchful eye at the spaceport during the final mission, and it's suggested that he might be the one helping Songbird with her trip to the moon. It's been suggested that Mr. Blue Eyes is perhaps being mind-controlled by a rogue AI, owing to his perpetual glowing eyes and connection to Peralez and Songbird. But what is the identity of Mr. Blue Eyes the man? Morgan Blackhand was a major character in the tabletop source material for Cyberpunk. In fact, the famous Solo was the one who led the assault on Arasaka Tower, along with Rogue, Spider Murphy, Johnny Silverhand, and others. So his omission from Cyberpunk 2077's plot was strange to many who knew the tabletop lore. Just before the heist, Jackie and Claire discuss the fact that Morgan Blackhand has gone off the grid. No one knows whether he's alive or dead.
All on the menu? Except there's a spot missing. Morgan Blackhand, right?
It's true. Morgan's yet to make up his mind if he's dead or still kicking.
Nobody knows what happened to him. Think he's still alive? It's been years.
Why not? Look at Rogue. Peaks from that era, a species unto themselves.
One interesting detail that players uncovered was that there were a couple of unused character models for Morgan Blackhand in the game files for Cyberpunk 2077, one model for 2023 and one for the present day, which suggests that Blackhand is still alive somewhere. And this is where things get really interesting. A user named Lurk Oasis managed to load these character models inside the game. Here's the 2023 version of him, and here is the 2077 version. But wait a second, doesn't he look familiar? Yes, it appears that Morgan Blackhand and Mr. Blue Eyes are the same person. Which begs the question, is Morgan Blackhand being controlled by an AI? Many theorists in the Cyberpunk community believe that Mr. Blue Eyes is an AI-controlled husk, responsible for mind-controlling Jefferson Peralez and trying to gain power and influence in Night City. And if that's the case, then who is the AI behind the curtains, so to speak? During the heist, Nomads will have a unique dialogue option calling back to the prologue smuggling job undertaken by Jackie and V. The pair ran into a hitch trying to transport a package across the border, and it turned out that the cargo was an exotic pet.
Oh, mames, a real iguana. A, lesser Antillean, I think.
Lesser Antil what?
Yeah, I watched the thing on TV about them. Went extinct like 30 years ago. They're from the Lesser Antilles. You come a long way, my scaly friend.
So when we arrive in Yorinobu's penthouse during the heist, Nomad V can have this unique conversation with Jackie.
Hey, look, V, another iguana.
Shit, you're right. I think it's the same one.
Nah, no way. Our guy had a sekier neck.
Corpo and Street Kid V's can still comment on the display case, but the dialogue is more generalized in that scenario. While exploring the Kabuki market near Wakako's parlor, you can stumble upon an unmarked drug vendor hanging out in this area near the Joy Toys. If you hang around for a moment, he'll try and grab your attention.
Hey, you're a troubled soul if I ever seen one. Get you something to ease the mind. Take the edge off. Got the whole alphabet. CFP, PCP, resin, skate smash, maybe Vanadol? Or maybe something that'll make you hot, huh? Sin, MDA, a little LP9? That last shit's so good it'll make you cry.
Okay, let's see. Show me.
The vendor offers all manner of illicit consumable items and adds a bit of flavor to the streets of Night City. Cyberpunk 2077 doesn't only have references to other video games, but anime and movies as well. And one major anime reference we can find is in the form of a motorcycle. The Kusanagi CT3X actually has 2 Easter eggs in one. Touted as the most expensive bike in Night City, the visual design of the Kusanagi is based on the iconic motorcycle from the movie Akira. And the name of the motorcycle is a reference to the protagonist of Ghost in the Shell. The bike's description is somewhat misleading though, because there are actually more expensive motorcycles in this game, but hey, it is what it is. During the quest where we give Johnny our body to dig up intel on Atom Smasher, Johnny Silverhand goes on a bender. And during this sequence, the devs snuck in a Matrix reference.
Left or right?
I think I got something better.
This, of course, references the iconic scene from the first Matrix movie, which also starred Keanu Reeves. These days, the term blue pill and red pill have been co-opted by online communities, so I often wonder how many people even remember where it originally came from, considering the Matrix is over 25 years old at this point. Situated near the Medeski fuel station fast travel point, we can stumble upon a reference to Indiana Jones, specifically a scene from the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, where Indy hid himself in a refrigerator to survive a nuclear detonation. In Cyberpunk 2077, we see a man sprawled out inside a fridge, with a shard detailing a challenge that this man was doing for a TV show. This is most likely a reference to Mythbusters, which did a segment on whether it was possible to survive a nuclear explosion by hiding in a fridge. I'm also reminded of that one quest from Fallout 4, where the sole survivor stumbles upon a kid who survived the bombs dropping in 2077 by hiding in a refrigerator, then unfortunately staying stuck in there for over 200 years and turning into a ghoul. It's a hilarious trope, but unfortunately for this Cyberpunk NPC, the results of the experiment didn't end so well. The talking handgun Skippy is one of the most memorable and iconic weapons from Cyberpunk 2077, no pun intended. Amidst all of Skippy's yapping, there is actually an Easter egg to the pop star Rihanna. While conversing with Skippy, the talking gun will start humming a tune.
Bum bum be dum bum
What-
bum be
What are you doing?
I'm making the wait more pleasant with a soothing melody. Bum bum be dum bum be dum bum.
The song that Skippy is humming here is actually a Rihanna track called Disturbia, so I guess someone at CDPR must be a big fan of Riri to slip this into the game. During the opening mission of Act 1, V and Jackie enter an apartment building in Watson to rescue a woman named Sandra Dorsett. Tucked away in this apartment building is a reference to Stanley Kubrick's movie The Shining. Entering into room 1237, you will find Sandra Dorsett in a bathtub, which mirrors the scene where Jack Torrance enters room 237 to check on a spooky encounter that scared his son Danny. When Jack enters the room, he sees a naked woman in a bathtub who becomes horribly disfigured and old before his eyes. Thankfully, in Cyberpunk, Sandra remains a low-key baddie who can even help us out during the Phantom Liberty DLC. Like many games, Cyberpunk 2077 still has remnants of cut content living in the game world and files. One area that has been the source of much debate and intrigue are a series of underground tunnels beneath Night City. With the power of modding and console commands, we can explore these areas. Fans have speculated that perhaps these tunnels were planned for now cut content involving corporate vampires, as hinted by some radio station commentary that still exists in the game, and a post from a former CDPR developer. If you want to explore more details about this, I recommend this video by Frank Garcia. In any case, this storyline never made it into the game, and the closest thing we have to immortal vampires are the engrams that Gary warned us about. Before they made Cyberpunk 2077, CD Projekt Red was mostly known for their development on the Witcher games, so naturally there are a few Easter eggs harkening back to their other major franchise. In the Corpo intro to the game, if you open up V's desk drawer at Arasaka HQ, you can spot a magazine cover sporting Ciri, one of the biggest characters from The Witcher 3, who is also going to be the protagonist in The Witcher 4. Throughout Night City, you can also find arcades with the minigame called Roach Race. This, of course, is named after Geralt of Rivia's beloved horse from The Witcher 3. After you've completed the Anders Hellman main quest, Panam contacts V to help rescue Saul, leader of the Aldecaldos. So I wanted to see how I could break this quest and lose Panam's trust in the process. It goes like this. When you reach the part of the quest where you're driving to the Raffen Shiv camp, drive away from the camp instead and bail out of the moving vehicle.
V, we don't have time. A storm is rolling in. If we're to do this, it's now or never.
You'll receive a text from Panam that says, "Where the f*** did you go? V, this is serious. I'll be in the camp. Hurry up." Panam takes control of the vehicle and drives it to the Raffen Shiv camp. At this point, if you wait 24 hours, you'll receive another text from Panam. "Saul is dead. I hope someone goes out and breaks your trust like you did mine. Don't ever try to contact me or any of the Aldecaldos. For your own good. Shithead." You may also receive an additional text from Panam as well. I didn't get this on my playthrough, but Reddit user Apostrophe posted this clip with the message. "Not like you would give a shit, but it's all over. We lost Saul. I couldn't pull him out of the Raffen camp myself. Maybe with your help, things could have gone differently, but I suppose we'll never know now, will we? I sincerely hope someone, someday, abandons you in your time of need. Do not ever contact me again." So does this mean we can't date anymore? Letting Saul die is not the only way to betray Panam, as we can actually piss her off to a lesser extent during the mission where we capture Anders Hellman. After downing the Kang Tao AV, Panam and V will set out to rescue Mitch from the Corpos. But you can actually skip this entire objective and just make a beeline to the gas station where Hellman is hiding out. If you do this, your objective will update and Johnny will say this.
"Gas station. See it? Bet that's where Kang Tao's all settled in, nice and cozy.
Gotta be holding Hellman inside.
Better not waste time. Little shit must be bored to death."
At this point, we can proceed inside the station and capture Hellman, which will prompt the Aldecaldos to arrive on the scene like normal. But since we bailed on Panam, she will have this unique dialogue.
"Looks like your new chimbas are here."
Panam?
Why are you so surprised? Did the sun bake your brain? Unlike you, I don't bail, especially if I've already given my word. I managed to help Mitch at the wreck, but Scorpion, we didn't make it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, thanks. That's your guy, right? Get him outside and toss him on a bike.
Mitch is fine, so clearly Panam handled things on her own, so no long-term damage is done to your relationship with her. However, Mitch will not invite you to conduct Scorpion's funeral, so you will miss out on that mission. During the early stages of the Phantom Liberty DLC, V and Rosalind Myers will have to take down a giant chimera robot in one of the most intense boss fights in the game. At the end of the fight, V will rip out the chimera robot core and finish the battle with a humorously corny line.
Rust and piss, shitbot!
But did you know that CDPR actually created unique finisher animations depending on which ARM cyberware V has installed? Let's take a look at a few variations.
V, catch!
I love the attention to detail on little things like this. It really shows the care and passion that the devs put into this game. During the mission Violence, the pop star Lizzie Wizzy will contact V to spy on her boyfriend, who she suspects is cheating on her. In actuality, we learned by watching club CCTV footage that Liam is planning to make a backup of Lizzie's engram with Arasaka, as he suspects Lizzie is becoming a cyber psycho. At this point, we'll have the evidence we need to share with Lizzie, but there's a secret ending to this quest we can unlock if we approach Liam directly.
Hey, what the hell are you doing here?
Oh, isn't it obvious, Liam? Listening in on you two.
Look, I don't know who you are, but I can assure you, you'll regret this.
Risk of regret must be why they're paying me.
Huh? Who sent you? Tell me, now!
Lizzie, you know, your output. The one you want to put on a shard, without her knowledge. She'll be interested to hear about this chat of yours. Very interested.
Hey, wait 1 second. Listen, I'll pay you, okay? Whatever you want. Just forget everything you heard, all right?
Sure, maybe I'll say yes. First, want to hear your why.
Liam, no, Arasaka was very clear.
Arasaka. I'm afraid for her. Lizzie, she wanted to go full conversion, right? Change her whole body to chrome. She did it, but something... At first it was just little memory problems, concentration. But now, she's changed.
We all change, Liam. All the time. Usually for the worse.
You don't get it. When I talk to her, I'm scared. There's something in her. Shit, I can't describe it.
It's fine. I'm not the one you owe an explanation.
No, wait, I'll pay you whatever you want. Just don't tell anybody. I am begging you.
Sure, send me Cred. Better be a lie.
Sure. I get it. Transferring now.
I'm out. Then drink up. Bubbly's no good warm.
I have a full video exploring all the alternate endings to this quest if you want to check that out, but after taking the bribe, we can still snitch on Liam or keep his secret from Lizzie. Cyberpunk 2077 has a handful of hidden quests that can only be unlocked under specific circumstances, and one of these quests has an Easter egg referencing the original 2013 reveal trailer for the game. If we visit the Jinguji clothing store downtown and then return at a later time, we'll find the store under attack by a cyber psycho. After neutralizing the psycho, Max Tech agents will arrive on the scene. The female officer that we see here is actually the same character depicted in the original trailer. In that trailer, we see a group of Max Tech officers raining down bullets on a woman with mantis blades. At the end of the trailer, we see this same woman has been converted into a member of their elite unit, which, as we'll see, is consistent with the storyline of the female Max Tech officer that V meets in this quest. One other interesting side note, many of the quests in Cyberpunk 2077 are named after songs. This quest is called Bullets, which shares the same name with the song featured in the 2013 teaser trailer. With the release of the Phantom Liberty DLC, CD Projekt Red added some new lines to the base game for players who complete the expansion before the main story. One notable example of this is our conversation with the AI version of Alt Cunningham.
You come alone.
Johnny's currently indisposed.
Currently. He is buried deeper. You treat him like an unwanted passenger, a backseat dreamer of a world not his own.
Seemed to me you didn't care a lick about Johnny. That he ceased to exist for you, even.
If he did not exist, you and I would have nothing to discuss.
Let me get this straight. Mean to say you only agreed to help me because of Johnny. And since he's not here this one time, you're thinking of backing out.
I do not aim to back out. I have my own intentions for Mikoshi.
Because for a second you were displeased, and I seemed a side note to all this.
To observe the two of you interacting. Informative.
Need your help, Alt. Don't got a lot of time left.
You truly believe time to be your greatest concern. You exist or you do not exist. Two states of being separated by death.
If we complete the Phantom Liberty DLC before meeting Anders Hellman, we can also have some unique dialogue with him as well.
Ain't just about Silverhand anymore. Rogue algos from beyond the Blackwall flip new switches within the relic.
What? How could that be?
Is it possible someone who connected to the Blackwall and the relic could have left a back door for something malicious to sneak onto the chip?
This I do not know. The Blackwall, it is terra incognita to me. I know just that whatever lies behind it must remain there, at all costs. At this moment, Silverhand remains your greatest problem. Two psyches molding into one. Or is it one psyche cleaving in two?
If we betray Songbird and side with Reed during the Firestarter mission in Phantom Liberty, then Songbird will go on a rampage before hijacking some killer robots inside a secret Militech facility. During this mission, we can uncover blueprints for a unique cyber deck called the Militech Canto, aka the Blackwall cyber deck. One interesting detail about this deck is that the Blackwall will speak through it, offering some light commentary to V.
Well, another chatty construct. Guess you'll have to get in line.
If we have the Militech Canto equipped while working for Bree during the side quest shot by both sides, the cyber deck will actually chime in with some unique dialogue about Militech's experiments with the Blackwall.
You seek the key to a door that does not exist. Typical of your kind.
While working with Reed to recruit Slider during the Phantom Liberty main quest, we'll have to infiltrate a Voodoo Boy stronghold to reach the blind Netrunner. If we happen to kill Brigitte and the VDBs during the main quest, we'll unlock some unique dialogue in this encounter.
Not about to be stopped by the likes of you. Gonna get Slider, just like I got my mom Brigitte.
That was you.
Everybody just keep calm.
At this point, things go guns blazing, which is always a satisfying thing when dealing with this gang. When exploring the Black Sapphire to meet Songbird in the Phantom Liberty DLC, we'll have an opportunity to witness a Lizzie Wizzy concert and actually speak with her in person at the bar.
Hey, Liz Wiz, famed singer, right?
And you are?
V. Just V. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Just V. Perhaps we'll meet again someday.
We just might. Enjoy your evening.
If we completed this quest before Lizzie's side quest in the base game, then we'll have some unique dialogue when meeting her at the No-Tell Motel.
Holy shit, you're...
Yep, Lizzie Wizzy. None other.
Saw you at the Black Sapphire. Hell of a gig you put on.
Listen, I don't generally brag about visiting that place, so our little secret, okay?
During Johnny's questline at the beginning of Act 3, V has the opportunity to set up a date between Johnny and Rogue. You'll take a trip to a rundown drive-in movie theater to watch one of the Bushido action films. Typically, when you arrive at the theater, V will have to find a code to unlock the door. However, if you happen to visit this location and open up the door before the date, you'll unlock this unique dialogue.
Closed. Really has been a while, I guess.
Technically, it's open. Been here before. No way in. Practically have the place all to ourselves.
Okay.
Mateo, the bartender at Lizzie's, is a bit of a curmudgeon who we may interact with during our quest to meet Evelyn Parker in Act 1. But one tiny detail that players may miss is the receipt attached to Mateo's shirt. This bill has a QR code in the bottom left corner, and it's actually a real active QR code. If you scan the code, it reveals a note that says, "The Moxes will take care of your money." Just unbelievable attention to detail in this game, man. During the quest, Dazed and Confused, V is tasked with rescuing a BD star named Lena Molina. But as it turns out, we didn't receive the gig from Lena herself, but a jabroni who believes he is the star after getting his brains fried while viewing one of her flicks. But there is one hilarious detail during this quest that is quite easy to miss, as it requires you to take a specific action to unlock. While going over to the real Lena's apartment to try and recruit her for Shank's project, if you kill the scavs and dump one of their bodies in the fridge in Lena's apartment, you'll receive this panicked text message from the aspiring BD star. "I did some cardio and went to grab a scop shake from the fridge, and you know what I found? A goddamn corpse! Someone stuffed a dead gonk in my fridge, probably some extra from Melanie's studio. The hell is this supposed to be? Some kind of threat? Beef with the scavs? You know anything about this?" V will respond, "Well, you wanted protein, didn't you? Just don't eat it all at once." Very funny. You scared the shit out of me. I would have called the cops if Dogtown even had any. I absolutely love this game, man. It's amazing the kind of things the devs cooked up for such hyper-specific scenarios. Now, this next one is a little bit dubious, but I found it really hilarious, so I wanted to include it in the video nonetheless. According to a post on the low-sodium Cyberpunk subreddit, if you steal Judy's van from in front of her apartment, you'll receive the following snarky text message. Here's a good one. How do you know when NC's too crowded? When your ride disappears and you have to walk on foot. Hope you enjoyed the ride. Next time, just give me a heads up. This is a hilarious detail, but I was not able to verify its authenticity. When I approached Judy's van in my own game, I was not able to interact with it in any way. There is no prompt to open the door or any way to break into it from what I could gather. So it made me wonder if these screenshots were fabricated. Another interesting detail is that the account that made this original post on Reddit has been suspended. So yeah, not totally sure what to think about this one. So you'll have to let me know in the comments if you ever try this in your own game and can do it successfully. Over the years, CDPR has made numerous updates to Cyberpunk 2077, adding in new features and details to make Night City feel more interactive. And one system that has been added is a gang reputation system. Basically how it works is if you screw over one of Night City's many gangs in a mission, that gang will remember your transgressions against them and attack you in random events while you're traveling in the open world. It's not the deepest RPG reputation system by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a nice little detail that makes your journey feel more immersive. Gangs will also now sometime get into shootouts with other gangs, scavs, or the police, so V is not the only one experiencing violence on the streets of Night City. After Panam's Aldecaldo buddy Scorpion bites the dust during the main quest, his best friend Mitch will contact V and invite us along for a funeral mission. After lighting his car on fire with Scorpion's body inside and pushing it off the cliff, Mitch pulls us aside to give us this keepsake.
There's a few things of his you ought to have. Like this little good luck charm. Go on, it's yours. What is it? Not a clue. Scorpion always had it on him, no idea why.
The figurine is actually a depiction of the character Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, so clearly Cyberpunk's Scorpion was keeping this around as a spiritual connection to the famed fighting game character. But I guess Mitch wasn't a big Mortal Kombat fan because he had no idea who this guy was. Many players will remember the insane side quest involving Jefferson Peralez, the prospective mayor of Night City. But what some of you may have missed during the course of this questline is Jefferson's absolutely hilarious campaign advertisement. Let's check it out.
Last year, the City Council of Night City absolved 32 corporations from their income tax obligations. Among them were Kang Tao, Arasaka, More Technologies, and Dynalog. Put together, the gross income of these companies runs in the tens of trillions of euro dollars. The catastrophic City of Opportunity bill passed 99 to 1 against. I was that one voice of dissent. Do I need to show you what'll happen to this bill if you, the people of Night City, choose me as your mayor? My name is Jefferson Peralez, and I approve this message.
Hey, the man's got my vote. After rescuing Evelyn from the shady XBD warehouse, V and Johnny hang outside Judy's apartment to give them some space. In this conversation, Johnny will badger V to smoke a cigarette, a request you can either comply or deny.
Come on, is it really that hard? Please, just one. For me?
Smoking's for posers, and it stinks too.
Say whatever the you want, but just light up.
No.
Non-smokers are the worst. Just my luck.
But interestingly enough, in some cases, V will automatically smoke the cigarette with no player input right at the beginning of this cutscene.
Since when do you smoke?
They taste like shit and make my head spin. But once I start something, I don't quit.
From one addict to another, I sympathize.
I'm not entirely sure what triggers this interaction, but I suspect it has something to do with V's relationship with Johnny. Something about how V is becoming more and more like Johnny by the day as the relic rewires your neural network. During the final mission of the game, if V decides to give the wheel to Johnny and storm Arasaka Tower with Rogue's help, then Rogue will always die right before the final boss fight. At this point, if we return to our own body in the Path of Glory ending, then when we return to the afterlife, Rogue will obviously not be there. However, there is actually a way to save Rogue's life during this ending. If you unlock the secret ending, where Johnny and V storm Arasaka Tower alone, if you return to your own body after reaching Mikoshi, then Rogue will still be alive when you make it to the afterlife. Here's how the conversation plays out.
Hey, Rogue. How's things? Everything in order?
You tell me. Afterlife, all that goes on here, it's your mess now.
Intrigued to hear what this client has to say.
I would be too. He awaits. But before you go off, let's you and me swap a few thoughts. Something?
My usual.
Sure thing. Oh, no, you don't. Unusual situation, you just can't have the usual. Off into the wild blue today, and you're well aware of the stakes.
Sure, keep reminding me.
Before any big op, and you know this, I'd oil the cogs with a little glass of tequila. Johnny's preferred.
We all got our rituals, charms, lucky underwear.
Not talking about luck, talking about remembering. Remembering Johnny, which is how I knew what this was all for, what I was doing in this mess.
Rogue.
So you're gonna honor afterlife tradition. Claire's gonna mix you a house drink. You just name it.
Mix me up a Wells. Gonna drink to Jackie.
You miss him?
This place was Jackie's dream. He wanted to work with fixers like you. legends. Wanted everybody at the afterlife to know our names. Major leagues, V. That's the place to be, the major leagues.
Well, drink. It'll do you good. Drink. It'll do you good. Break a leg, V. This heist, if anybody can pull it off, that person's you.
Thanks, Ro.
During your mission to set up a meeting between Takamura and Hanako, there is a hilarious little encounter you can get if you sabotage the N54 news broadcaster.
Is coming to you live from Japan. Hey, stay out of the shot. Oh, damn it. Let's do it again. 3, 2, 1. This is Jillian Jordan of N54 News coming to you live from Japantown. Hey, stay out of the shot. Thank you, people are working here.
If you visit the Night City graveyard at the Columbarium, you can actually notice some new epitaphs get added throughout the game, as well as some others mentioned during quests. For example, we can find one for Evelyn Parker after she tragically claims her own life. We can also find one for characters who can die based on V's actions, like River Ward and Woodman. Another notable one is Carol Jablonsky, Bill's wife who was murdered by Joshua Stephenson, which was the whole reason we started the Wild Sinnerman questline. I love little details like this because it makes Night City feel more immersive, lived in, and interactable. Prior to your reconnaissance of Arasaka Industrial Park, V can make a joke about ordering pizza for the stakeout.
Oh, can you run and grab us a pizza?
Take out the food? No, just no. If I had time and ingredients, I would prepare some onigiri with cod or with grilled salmon.
And interestingly, if you choose this dialogue option, then V and Takamura will actually have a box of pizza and sushi next to them during the mission. Otherwise, they won't grab any grub before the stakeout. So there you have it. We've explored 77 tiny details, secrets, unique dialogue, and other tidbits you probably missed in Cyberpunk 2077. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to Big Dan Gaming for more Cyberpunk and RPG videos. And be sure to follow me on Instagram at Big Dan Gaming. Big shout out to all the channel members for supporting my content. Until next time, this has been Big Dan. I should go.